So there is a ton going around here. Let's just talk about this with Robert Greenway, Director of the Center for National Defense at the Heritage Foundation. Robert, I don't know where you begin, but perhaps you can give us your best clue as to what happens next. Go for it.
Well, first, I think it's Israel sending a strong message to Hamas that the individuals responsible for the deadliest attack in their history, the deadliest attack on Americans since 9/11, is not safe anywhere, including Tehran, at an IRGC guest house outside of the Tehran, the Iranian capital, and they've demonstrated the ability again to strike with precision. Likewise, in Lebanon, you can see that they've sent a strong message to Hezbollah, taking out the #2 and the man most responsible for the rocket and missile force, the greatest threat, displacing 80,000 Israeli civilians. And so as they wait for what happens next, I think now we're looking at an Israel that is on high alert. I think it's going to take days before Iran and Hezbollah can organize themselves and prepare a response to what they did not anticipate. And I think the region is on edge. Unfortunately, the United States isn't playing the role that it ought to in preventing escalation nor managing escalation. I think it's time for the United States to get off the sidelines and to start to confront Iran before this gets out of hand.
Robert, to that point, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said this.
I don't think war is inevitable. I maintain that. I think there's always room and opportunities for diplomacy. We're going to work hard to make sure that we're doing things to help take the temperature down and address issues through diplomatic means.
Just thinking back a few months ago, I believe it was April, when Iran sent all those missiles overnight, remember? And the Iron Dome was able to deflect most of them. That could happen again. Is Israel replenished? Are they able to take care of that situation again if it happens?
Yeah, so 320 combined missiles and drones from 3 different vectors came in to assault Israel. They were successful at doing so with the U.S. support and those of our partners and allies. I think it could be repeated, but not if it's sustained. And the inventory from Iran was substantial, but not from Lebanon. Under the circumstances, it could be significant. Right now, the United States has to provide the requisite support for Israel, certainly has to continue to provide the new munitions, which have been delayed, and has to send a strong message to Iran. We should be applauding, not questioning, not escalating, not questioning Israel's actions, again, taken on behalf of ourselves, again, knowing the Americans were killed on October 7th. And the man killed outside of Beirut was responsible for the 1983 embassy bombing and 241 dead Marines. We owe them our gratitude and our support, not our questioning and not our equivocation.
Okay, there are more headlines coming out of Tehran, and we'll get that to our viewers momentarily. Here is, the backdrop of all this is an American election that's some 90-some-odd days away. Here is Donald Trump and how he says that foreign countries will look at a Kamala Harris presidency. He said this.
I think they'll walk all over her. She'll be so easy for them. She'll be like a play toy. They look at her and they say, we can't believe we got so lucky. They're going to walk all over her. And I don't want to say as to why, but a lot of people understand it.
The contrast here, Robert, is that, you had a period of peace, relatively speaking, 3.5 years ago. And I don't know what Kamala Harris does, and I don't know what Joe Biden does right now, but it seems that you've got this co-presidency out of the White House. What would you expect their lead to be now?
I think defensive. They've been largely responsive. It's hard to tell exactly who's in charge these days, and what we've seen from Kamala Harris is essentially an endorsement of Biden's policies, not surprisingly. I do know that after the Soleimani strike that restored deterrence just 4 years ago, she tweeted out that it was an unsupported strike, that we were outside of bounds, and that escalation and conflict would follow. So I think the region's interpreting that they've got a target of opportunity, and the United States is going to constrain Israel and not confront them. And so far, they've been right. I hope we can prove them wrong.
There was a push this past week for a hostage release deal. Do you think this sets that back?
I doubt that that was actually close to conclusion at any rate, and certainly now there's going to be very little, if any, discussions about a hostage exchange. And look, I think at the end of the day, the conflict right now requires the hard responses that Israel has done to set their adversaries back. I think now we need to support our partners and allies in the region with strong deterrence. We can resume those negotiations at some point, but it's not going to be anytime soon.
Last question here about what we're doing in all this and the threats that we're facing around the world. Lloyd Austin was in the Philippines when we heard that soundbite. And the reason he goes to the Philippines because of the threat there on behalf of the Chinese. And he's asked about this attack half a world away. Here's the Commission on National Defense Strategy as to whether or not we are prepared for the next war. The threats the United States faces are the most serious and most challenging the nation has encountered since 1945 and include the potential for near-term major war. The United States last fought a global conflict during World War II, which ended nearly 80 years ago. The nation was last prepared for such a fight during the Cold War, which ended 35 years ago. It is not prepared today. How do you assure Americans watching now that we can get it together?
Well, it's a great question, and we came to the exact same conclusions in January when we published Heritage's Index of U.S. Military Strength, and so we agree. And at the end of the day, our regional presence also doesn't deter escalation, or does it enable us to prepare for a response. We've got a lot of work to take care of the negligence that has led to a decline in our military capabilities across the conventional and nuclear spectrum, and our job is to point out those deficiencies. It'll take congressional and executive action to fix it, but it needs to happen before the situation gets worse. And escalation, in the end of the day, comes as a result of weakness. We've got to be strong in the face of it if we're going to expect a successful deterrence.
Amen to that. Terrific, Robert. Nice to have you on. Robert Greenway back with us today.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.